Hey guys, welcome to my video on how to apply henna to your hair. Hopefully you've seen my other video that shows you how to prepare it, but in this video I'm just going to show you how it looks when you apply it and what to look for and all that good stuff. So I already have my henna already prepared, and actually it's a henna with a little bit of indigo in it to darken it. So it should come out about the same color as I have here, and what you can do is you can mix it up if you know that you're gonna just be reapplying it to the roots. What I'm gonna do to keep a consistent color is just apply it to my whole hair, but if you go ahead and make a batch and then you just want to do your roots, you can save the rest of it and then thaw it whenever you're ready to use it, and that'll keep the color consistent for you. But you can see with my hair, I let it grow a little bit. I'm naturally a blonde, and so it's got about 3/4 of an inch of root. So I will show you how to apply it, and then once I wash it out, I will show you what it looks like afterwards. So, hope you enjoy this video. Like, comment below if I leave anything out. You guys have any questions, just let me know, and let's get started. Alright guys, so you are going to need gloves, and what I did also is applied a little bit of oil to my head around my hairline so that if I did get any henna on it, it wouldn't stick to my scalp. What's really nice about henna is even though it does stain the skin, it doesn't stain as much on your scalp or your face. So if you do get a little bit on there and you see it staining a little bit, you can take some oil and some soap and just rub it, and it should come right off. But you just want to take a small section of hair. I usually start at the crown of my head and then work my way forward and on one side first. So you just take the whole strand. If you're doing your whole head, this is the way you do it. I'm showing you even though I'm just touching up my roots. But if you make a batch to just touch up your roots, again, you can save it by freezing it and then thaw it whenever you're ready. So here you can see I've already done the top and one of the sides. I just sped it up so you guys could see it on this side that was closer to the camera. But basically I just do these in quarters for the most part. So I do one side all the way, almost all the way to the bottom there, and then I'll start on the other side, and you can see I'm just wrapping it around the same original little knot on the top of my head, if you will. It's making like this huge pinwheel, but it just helps to coat everything, and then once you lay it on top of itself, it helps to really get that maximum coverage that you want. So I'm just doing it here as if I was doing the whole head, just like you would if you were doing it for the first time. So you would definitely want to make sure that you get the most amount of coverage. And I'm trying to do this, you know, somewhat as quickly as possible, because whenever you are dyeing with henna, whenever it dries out, that's when it stops dyeing. So you want to make sure that this is still moist, and that's another reason why I'm piling it on top of itself, is because that bottom layer is going to be kept as moist as possible by whatever I'm doing on top, and it's just a process. And so if it starts to dry out on you and you've already applied it, you can take a spray bottle and lightly spritz it. You don't want to make it too runny because you don't want it to run all over, but the reason too you want gloves, as you can see, it's pretty messy, and also the dye has already been released by this point, and so you really just don't want that on your hands. It will stain it pretty quickly. Like I said, or I meant to mention, that the dye does not take very much to scalp and to the skin on your face, which is amazing. Otherwise I would be pretty orange by the time this is finished. So yeah, just keep doing the same process, and just keep applying. And if you feel like you need more coverage, you're like, oh, I missed something, whenever you put it around the rest of it, you can go in and just put a little bit more on there, and it should help get that full coverage that you want. Another thing to note about henna, I don't know if any of you have ever used henna as a form of body art, but it darkens over the next 48 to 72 hours if you don't wash it with actual soap. So I'll show you later not the shampoo, but the conditioner that I use. You can use conditioner to help get it out, but don't use shampoo because it will basically stop the darkening process. And you don't want it to do that. You want it to come to its full color. So if this is the first time that you've ever used henna, and you're wondering what it's going to look like afterwards, henna is going to be a little bit lighter. If you've ever used it on your skin, you know that it comes out a little bit yellowish and then it'll darken to almost that brownish red. And that's the same process here. It's going to be a little bit lighter initially. It may even look like a brighter orange, and then it will darken as long as you don't wash it with the soap. Another thing that you can do to help it darken is you can use a hotter blow dryer on it. I don't like blow drying my hair just because I like to not use heat on it, because heat can damage it and it can dry it out. I like to just wash and dry my hair naturally, and but that is a option, to use the blow dryer to darken that or make that process quicker. And this video is a little bit long. I just wanted you guys to see almost the full process here. And I'm just doing this by myself. If you guys feel like you need help, grab a friend and do it together. This is really good for your hair. Henna helps strengthen your hair actually. It also helps with hair loss, which is great. I've always found that my hair just really feels so much thicker after I do this, and that's because it causes the hair follicles all the way down the hair shaft to open up, and so it makes it feel more fluffy, and it's just the most amazing feeling. And so it's really it's just really good for your hair, and it's good for your scalp. Henna itself helps to detox. I know that henna is often used for weddings in India, but it's also used for medicinal purposes because it's anti-inflammatory. And so they'll put it on spots like on the elbows or hands or whatever to help with inflammation. So it's just very good overall. You're avoiding all those chemicals, and you're getting to have fun with your hair, which is amazing. I really love it. I love the way it makes my hair feel. If you don't like the way that it makes your hair smell, you can put a couple drops of essential oil in it. Or even I've read that you can put some cinnamon powder in there too. What I tend to not like, I love the smell of henna. I'm not particularly fond of the way that indigo smells. So I'll list the links down below of the resources that I've used that I've found the most helpful, and it will go over that as well as to what you can add to your mixture to really just help with the smell if it really bothers you. But personally, henna doesn't bother me. I really love it, and I just love the result. It makes my hair feel so healthy. So I'm almost done. And it's a good thing I put that oil on the back of my ears and on my hairline, because you can see it's gotten a little bit messy. And being naturally a blonde, a lot of you with darker hair, you'll have to work a little bit harder to get as red a color. You might have to lighten your hair a little bit, and if you want to do that naturally, you can use chamomile. It really has a highlighting effect, but and you won't have to worry so much about your eyebrows. But I'm going to be going through and really covering my eyebrows in just a moment. But once I make sure that I have everything covered, and I'm adding some extra henna just to make sure that all the strands all over or really covered, I'm going to wrap it in Saran wrap. And what this does is it makes the henna not dry out. Because like I mentioned before, henna, once it dries, it will stop dyeing. And if you want a really nice deep color, you want to keep it moist, you want to keep it from drying out, especially since you'll be doing the bottom of your hair, and the outsides are going to be the most exposed parts. So I'm just making sure everything's covered, and now I'm going to work on my eyebrows. And it's the same principle. I'm going to put this on, make sure it's covering all of my eyebrow, and I put oil around my eyebrows as well, so that I get the coverage where I want it and not anywhere else. Alright, and then we're going to cover these up as well. Yes, you're going to have to do this. I found this to be the best way, just to have the Saran wrap just covering them. And you're going to wait for 4 hours. And then you wash out with conditioner only. So this is how it turned out. It's a nice vibrant red, and like I said, it's going to be a little bit more orange. You can see there at the roots it's a little bit more on the yellow orange side than the rest that had already been dyed with henna before, but that'll darken. And if I wanted to speed up that process, I could definitely take a hair dryer to it. And you can see my eyebrows are a little bit brighter red too. And this is the conditioner that I use to wash it out. What I generally like to do, I have a shower with a spout, so I rinse it out pretty well first, and then I use that conditioner to get the rest. And yeah, you guys just leave me some feedback and let me know if this was helpful or not, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.